If it's too novel and pulls me out of my comfort zone and my routine, then I freak the hell out and have a panic attack. Fun balance. You make detailed plans but struggle to execute them. Faux show. The word tonight, AUDHD. Obvious pick, right? AUDHD is a combination of autism spectrum disorder, ASD, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, in the same person. It's not a separate diagnosis. Why? Because autism and ADHD affect attention, sensory processing, communication, and executive function in different ways. Having both creates a distinctive lived experience with its own patterns, strengths, and challenges. And an abundance of them there are. And hard to interpret and understand, even more so they are, I must say. Below is a clear, structured, detailed breakdown with real-world examples so you can see how AUDHD actually shows up in your life. So let's see how it shows up in our life. AUDHD describes people who are autistic and ADHD at the same time, leading to stronger sensory sensitivities, more intense executive function struggles, social communication differences, rapid switching between hyperfocus and overwhelm. Interesting one. I experience that quite often and multiple times a day with this YouTube experience. Unique strengths in creativity, pattern recognition, and problem solving. Definitely all confirmed. Core traits of autism and ADHD together, executive function difficulties. Both autism and ADHD affect planning, organization, and task initiation, but in different ways. That's fun. Thanks. Combined, it can feel like a double hit. Autistic side needs predictability, struggles with transitions, and gets stuck on routines. ADHD side, easily distracted, forgetful, impulsive, difficulty starting tasks. Example, you want to clean your room, you plan to clean your room, you think about cleaning your room, but you can't start because the mess feels overwhelming. That's like my everyday life. Having an anxiety that I want to start a responsibility, going through all the details of the responsibility in my head, overwhelming myself, creating more anxiety, sitting in the spot that I'm in longer, usually trying to stimulate myself with a screen or a thought to make myself feel better. And then it's like a loop, anxiety creating anxiety. It's a mess. Interesting. The mess feels overwhelming. Autistic sensory overload. You don't know where to begin. Executive dysfunction. And you get distracted by something interesting. ADHD. I'd have to say for me, it's more the mess feels overwhelming and I don't know where to begin. I don't really get, well, I guess I do get distracted by something else like screens. So I guess that's all fitting too. I'm not surprised. Not one bit. I am surprised that I'm 42 years old and didn't know this until, not long ago at all. Like 6 months ago. Crazy talk. Hyperfocus and sensory overload. People with AUDHD often hyperfocus intensely, but only on certain interests or tasks. Example, you spend 6 hours researching a niche topic, forgetting to eat, drink, or pee. Then later, a small noise or unexpected interruption causes instant meltdown or shutdown. My daily life. Daily. I'm usually in my niche topic inside my head, and for me to separate from that willingly in any way is a feat of Herculean proportions. It's not, even if I'm logically aware that I'm hyper-focusing, I'm stuck, I should probably stop and take a break, I can't actually get my brain to do what I logically think I should do. It's great. Honestly, I do, I'm happy now. I do enjoy being AUDHD. There are parts of me that I really love, and there are parts of me that are a struggle. I don't dislike any of it, but it's not a simple existence. I'm sure you guys know. Social communication differences. Autism affects social interpretation. ADHD affects impulse control and conversational pacing. Together, this can look like interrupting because you're excited, ADHD, missing subtle social cues, autism, oversharing without realizing it, both, me, masking heavily to fit in, autism, me, then burning out from masking, ADHD, exhaustion. I think that's partially correct because that's autistic exhaustion also. Definitely me too. But side note on masking, so there's one term that I always come across when I'm reading about masking, and it's masking. And to me, I visualize like this tree, masking, tree, right? And there's all these branches of it. And I think there are good aspects too. I think like when we mask, like say, and this has happened to me a lot, and this is actually part of the reason why I am on YouTube. And these are the interactions that make me feel, I guess, fulfilled, is when there are people that feel alienated or need a connection, and I'm able to use my hyper empathy. Yes, autistic people do have empathy, not all of them, and a lot of them have hyper empathy. So I'm able to utilize that and connect with them and make them really feel validated. And that's a big thing, and that's a positive thing. So I think as AUDHD and autism and everything moves on and grows, hopefully from only a disability perspective, we'll all start to realize, even if we don't, we may already realize, but it'll be more public that, wow, there's some amazing things that we do naturally. And that situation I said with masking is one of them. Emotional regulation challenges, big one for me. I'm an emotional ball of fire rolling down a mountain 24/7, trying to put it out, hitting everything on the way down internally. Most of the times internally. I mean, I don't really know what my face looks like when I'm in an emotional meltdown or trying to prevent an emotional meltdown. It may be like the most obvious thing in the world, and it's like, bro, you ain't hiding crap. But I do my best to work through it internally. And I don't know if that's the best thing to do. I communicate when I can. I think if we all communicated what we were going through emotionally all the time to people in our lives, they'd be like, you need to go to a psych ward. Or just check yourself in. Maybe they can help you out, give you something, some pill or something. I don't know. Common experiences. Big emotions that feel sudden and overwhelming. Difficulty calming down. Shutdowns or meltdowns. I definitely shut down. I melt down and then I shut down. I withdraw. And then I just ruminate on what I melted down about. And all my, like, the creative juices go into creating this scenario to keep the rumination valid. So I just shut down even more. It's sweet. Rumination and anxiety. Fitting that would be there. Someone says we need to talk, and your brain spirals into a panic, imagining worst case scenarios. Yes, yes, and yes, yes, yes. Sensory processing difficulties. Autistic sensory sensitivity and ADHD sensory seeking equal a unique mix. Examples: needing soft clothes, no tags, no scratchy fabrics. Yes, I don't like tight clothes. I definitely enjoy soft clothes. I actually had my hoodie on to start this video just because it feels good. But I had it on for I live in Central Florida, and it is like 74 in here, but I had it on for like 3 seconds, and I was like, well, it's either soft material or heat stroke, or not have a heat stroke. So I decided to not have a heat stroke. But anyway, yeah, definitely censor with clothes. Not extreme, but it's there. Being overwhelmed by loud places and craving stimulation when bored. Very much so. And I notice with age, being more aware of the overwhelm by loud places. We took my 5-year-old to Chuck E. Cheese. This is awesome, by the way. In case you have a little one, or if you like Chuck E. Cheese, on Sundays from 9 to 11, they do a low sensory 2 hours. So we just figured it out. My son is AUDHD, he's 5, and we went to it, and it was freaking awesome. The lights were dim, the sounds were low, there was really nobody there, and it was like very enjoyable. And it was a kind of interesting because when 11 o'clock got there, and it's instant changes to typical, it got overwhelming instantly and you could feel it. So cool little experience, but awesome that they did that. And like I said, with age, I've definitely become more aware of that sensitivity of overwhelm and others. But craving stimulation when bored all the time. My brain can keep me pretty well stimulated until it spirals out of control and train wreck and goes downhill, and then it turns into depression. It happens. Loving deep pressure, weighted blankets, tight hugs. I'm not much of a hugger. I think my freaking brain never stops, so it's like I just think through a hug. Crazy, I know. But like a back rub or something like that, bro, it's like instant, like in my body, out of my brain. Amazing. Hating bright lights, strong smells, or chaotic environments. Yes, yes, and yes! Exclamation point. Difficulty switching tasks. I think this was stated briefly, or either I went off track and mentioned it, one or the other. Task switching is hard for both autism and ADHD, but for different reasons. Example, you're hyper-focused on a project. Someone asks you to stop and do something else. Your brain freezes. You feel irritated, overwhelmed, and disoriented. Yes. I already talked about it, so I'm not going to go into detail. Unique strengths. AUDHD isn't just challenges or powerful strengths. Cool, some positives. Exceptional creativity. Yes. But sometimes, and for me, I'm not confident enough to express my creativity, but I'm definitely opening myself up more with age. I don't know if you guys are the same. Deep knowledge and special interest, for sure. Strong pattern recognition, for sure. Innovative problem solving, empathy and fairness, resilience, ability to think differently from the crowd. Yes. I don't even know what it would be like to think similarly to a crowd. I also don't know what it would be like to not think all the time. So, how AUDHD shows up in daily life. Schoolwork. Starting assignments is hard, but once you start, you may work for hours. You forget deadlines, but remember obscure facts perfectly. You struggle with group work, but excel independently. You need clear instructions, not vague ones. Very much me. Like, give me... I don't like vague instructions because it's like the bits that are left out in the vague parts become like an unsolvable riddle in my head, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what is expected of me here? That's a big one for me. Relationships. You care deeply but may struggle to express it in expected ways. Very much so. You miss hints but respond well to direct communication. Yes, I'm pretty good with hints, but direct communication, please. And I get annoyed sometimes if someone's not directly communicating, because people will be like subtle hints. I don't know if it's, I mean, I know it's not intentional manipulation, but it's like, are you asking me to do something for you? Or are you just saying it would be really nice if somebody did this thing for you? Because could you please just ask me? Let's make it much more simple. You need structure but resist it, for sure. This YouTube channel, I've been resisting since day one. My intention was to not be structured and be expressive and basically not be structured. I can't do it. I tried. I think I've posted like 34 or 35 shorts and videos combined, and I realized I can't do it. I'm not being authentic to myself, and I want to do it this way. I enjoy this. This is nice for me. Routines. Yeah, I already started that. Restructure, need structure but resist it. You crave novelty but get overwhelmed by change. For sure, the idea of novelty is amazing. If it's too novel and pulls me out of my comfort zone and my routine, then I freak the hell out and have a panic attack. So, fun balance. You make detailed plans but struggle to execute them. Faux show. Self care. Forgetting to eat, shower, sleep. I don't think I really forget. I'm just lazy. Overthinking social interactions for sure. Needing recovery time after socializing for sure. Feeling guilty for not meeting expectations. Yeah. This should be good. Why AUDHD is often missed or misdiagnosed. I thought I had every mental. I'll just go with the word disability because I don't. I don't. It's a long story. I've pretty much self-diagnosed myself with every mental disability in the book while working my way to AUDHD, and then it finally clicked. Oh, this is crazy. So here we are. Autism can mask ADHD symptoms. I think it's the other way around for me. I think the impulsiveness from ADHD masked my autistic traits, but I would have meltdowns from overstimulation. And I didn't know why or even know to think of why or that it wasn't normal. I mean, that was my existence my whole life. So to me, that was normal. How would I know to question it? Until I started looking inside my 30s. Many clinicians don't evaluate both conditions together, in my experience as well. Girls, women, and AFAB people are especially underdiagnosed. I don't know much about that, so I can't talk about it. It would make sense. I think women internalize more. Masking hides symptoms but causes burnout. So that would be like the overwhelm that I would have from overstimulation. The ADHD, I'm being impulsive, I get overstimulated. So I'm basically like masking my autistic side to be drug around by my ADHD side, loving every second of it. He's a party animal. And then crashing out and being like, bro, like, you're too much. Take me back to the room. I need a freaking pizza. I need dark lights. I need to lay down. That's my thing with relaxing too. Side note, I like sitting on my couch. I have a nice comfy couch. Sitting up to watch a movie, it just doesn't feel the same as laying down. And there is an explanation for that. I don't remember what it is. I guess it can be one of the things we do on here one night because it'd be a good one. But anyway, dark room, bed, pizza, and some type of crazy sci-fi show. But don't get my anxiety worked up. Like crazy magical sci-fi. Therapy that understands what helps people with AUDHD. Structured routines with flexibility. Yep. It's not easy to do. The concept, simple. Structured routines with flexibility. So we have to structure in the flexibility, which in myself automatically cancels out the flexibility because it's structured flexibility. It's a conundrum. Visual schedules, timers, reminders, sensory tools, noise canceling headphones, fidgets. I do notice I have a nice pair of noise canceling headphones that I bought brand new. They're still in the case and I haven't worn them. My son has some that I put on sometimes. He's, like I said, he's AUDHD and he plays video games. He can play video games so loud that it literally, like physically and literally feels like my mind and ears are melting. That's another typical thing with us, by the way, him being able to do that. And I wear his headphones sometimes and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Like, where have these been my whole life? But I'm the type to suffer through things, so mine stay in the case because it's like, I'll make it through. I'll make it through. I'll make it through. And then I'm pissed off at the world later. Therapy that understands neurodiversity, important. I personally feel like if we're fortunate enough to find a professional, we should also find one that is on an AUDHD or on the spectrum of some sort themselves. It's a level of understanding that I've felt and that I think can be offered that's just not the same as an outsider's understanding. Not to discredit an experienced professional, but that's just my opinion. Medication, ADHD meds, anxiety support, etc. I've wanted to try ADHD meds, not like a high stimulant, but I can't remember the name of it. But I kind of want to try it. But I'm a little worried that through my research, when the ADHD side quiets down, the autistics, like sensory issues become more prominent. So I'm a little hesitant, and I don't respond. I've been on a lot of SSRIs and stuff from my psychiatrist when I was diagnosed with panic and anxiety disorder. A few different ones. None of them really helped, so I guess I'm just skeptical because I've been non-responsive. Obviously, he was giving me stuff that it's for a whole different tree. Anxiety and panic disorder is a branch of the AUDHD tree, but treating just that branch with a medication isn't going to help the tree. Helps the branch. Environments with clear expectations, yes. Permission to rest without guilt, for sure. I'm bad about acknowledging that for myself. I'm a push througher. Accommodations at school or work. Fortunately, I have a job that I can exist with. If you want, I can also break this down. I don't need it broken down anymore. So I really enjoyed this. Thank you for being here. I'm going to choose another word, unless you guys choose a word associated with AUDHD, and we'll do this again. All this is very fitting to me. It's probably fitting to you. If not, tell me why it's not or why it is. I'm curious. I love hearing different perspectives. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being you.